What's up everybody, welcome back to another drawing tutorial. So today I have Shinobu from Demon Slayer. She's the poison butterfly pillar. She's a pillar, right? Yeah, she's a pillar, I think. Yeah. Poison butterfly pillar. That should be her name. Right, Shinobu. Tricky one. So this is definitely pencil for this first, and pause if I go too fast, because 3/4 pose, that means her head is turned away from us a little bit. She's not facing us straight on, so her head is turned away, so that means it's turned. So imagine this is her face, so you have an eye here and an eye here, so she's turned this way and slightly facing down, so she's looking kind of down, her head is tilted down. So that means the eye that's on this side turns away, goes down, the line for the eye is that way, and this eye is a little bit smaller than this one. Okay, so we have a big eye here, slightly smaller eye here, and her head is looking down, but she's looking right at the camera. Imagine if it was a photograph, she's looking right at the viewer. So it's a bit tricky. So to go, take your time, definitely use a pencil, okay? I couldn't find any ones that are just facing forward, so not any good ones anyway. So this is kind of the best one I could find online. So we're above halfway, we're in the top half of our page. We're gonna start right in the middle, all right, along this middle line. We're gonna start with her right eyelid, right? So just say a dot right there. So this is the big eye, her right eye. Not her right eye. Her left eye, but it's on the right hand side of the page. So we're going to curve this like so first. Up and around. Okay. So this angle, see the way this is higher than this? So that's the line that we're gonna go for the head. So the head is going down this way. So that's the angle, okay? So that's the first eye. The next eye, I suppose it would be helpful maybe to draw that first. So we're just down from this, just here. So there's a dot right there. So we're down from it, see? Good bit. There. And then this is going to curve around, but it's smaller. Right, see that? I'd say it's about half the size of this one. We'll measure. Let's measure. So 2.5, and that's not half, it's probably a third less. So that's 2, yeah, that's 2.5, and that's 3.5. So it's like a third off. It's 2/3 the size. All right, this isn't a maths lesson, sorry. So it's just like a third smaller. It's a little bit smaller now. So it's probably like this bit, if this bit was cut off, and kind of a sharper bend. Right, so then those eyelids, we'll thicken them up. We'll do this eye first and then we'll go over and do that one. So Demon Slayer, real thick eyelids, so we're gonna go up this way, curve it around, down here, down the back, right? And then it's dark black inside. And in Demon Slayer, we have some eyelashes sticking off. So 1, 2, 3, and then 4 at the back. So like, say 1, 2, 3, 4. Like so. So real big, thick eyelashes. And then the bottom, so the bottom eye is kind of down here, but it's like, it's not connected to the sides. So we're just going to do her big iris. She's no pupil, it's just like a big purple iris. So we're going to curve this way. So the head is tilted, so now we're curving around back here. So imagine if this circle was standing up, it's kind of tilted back that way. And then we go up into here. Right? And then our bottom eyelid is down under that. So it's right where we drew that. It touches the bottom of her iris. So it comes right along here and comes out the other side there. There's a bit of a line maybe there. Comes out the other side here. You can thicken it up. And then 1, 4 eyelashes down here too. 1, 2, 3, 4. So then this other eye now. So we're going to thicken up this top eyelid. So we're going to go up, down from this one, follow that shape around, down like so. Dark black inside. Like so, and then add some eyelashes sticking off. So say 1, 2, 3. Make this pointier down there. Like so. And now, so we're going to try and make it so these are in line with one another. So the center of this iris is going to be here. And this one, the bottom, is going to be just say here, right? So that's going to be the center of our eye. And this is going to be the bottom. So there's a bit of perspective happening. That means, so the eye gets smaller as we get to here. So the lines that sort of would run across here, it's a bit smaller. So it's kind of diagonal this way. So what I mean is, it's not right in line there. It's up a little bit like this. So you would turn your line that way. So then you just do your iris inside, 2 lines, joining that together. So see, big eye, smaller eye. So it goes, so if I was to keep this the same size, the eye would be like here. But we just close that, make it smaller. And then the bottom eyelid, just thicken it up like we did this one. Make it a bit thicker. This one, of course, is smaller. But still, it's darker black. And then there's some eyelashes sticking off. Just there. Now, so she has some eyebrows, naturally enough, and it's kind of connected to her nose on this one. So we have a line just for the brow of her nose, right? So that means just like this line. So it's like, imagine her nose is here and it curves around up to her eyebrow up here. So this, so her eyebrow is like here. And this is going to curve down to, it goes off the edge of her forehead just here. And this side of it is a bit thicker, and it gets thinner as it goes around the back of her face that we can't see because her face is turned away. So So most of this eyebrow disappears around the side of her head. And then there's some eyelid lines just in here. So we have one here. One. Come this way and maybe a little bit down behind, like so. So in the other eyebrow, we can see much more of it. So it's just up from, it's diagonal up, so because the face line is this way, so it's diagonal up. So it's about, say here, diagonal up. It's like in the middle, just here. And then this is going to curve around. Go like so. And it's a bit thicker on this end, so you do another bump on top. And then just bring it down into here. Okay. So really take your time with this now, guys, because it's not easy, this. Because we've got a lot of angles going on, you know, so try your best. Take your time. Then, eyelid line, just say here. And then a couple going up and around. Like so. So her nose is just underneath this eye here. So it's very small, pointy nose. So it's just, let's say, right, so we have the point for it. So we got curved line just here. And a curved line not even connected to it, just a tiny little line going that way. Okay, just kind of suggesting her nose. Her nostril is just a dot right here. Maybe with a line coming off the edge just there. And then there's another line just behind this to kind of give a shadow of her nose just there. Comes right in close to that pupil just here. Okay. Now, so before we do her mouth, I think it might be helpful to get the side of her face drawn in, and then we can place her mouth. So right next to her eyebrow and her eyelashes, we're going to do her brow line. So it's going to go down, right touching that eyebrow, comes right down past her eyelashes, the edge of her eyelashes just here. This is going to continue down to her bottom eyelashes, right? So it goes in a little bit. And when we get to our bottom eyelashes, it's going to start coming out for her cheek and then go back into her chin, right? So her chin, the point for her chin, she's a real pointy chin. It's like right underneath the inside of this eye. So underneath this iris, straight down there. So that's where we're going for her chin, okay? So we're going to bring this out like so, and we're going to start traveling back in towards her chin. So this is going to go diagonal this way into her chin there. So it's the side of her face because her head is turned away from us. And then this is going to be pointy, so it's going to point around. So it's going to go this way. We have a little curve there. And then this goes diagonal this way, up underneath her hair. So we have some hair here. like so. Okay. So then her mouth. So the mouth is usually halfway between the eyes and the chin, but because her eyes are so big, it's probably halfway between. So the mouth is halfway between the nose and the chin. I'm wrong. So that's because this character has such large eyes, the proportions are off. So if we went this way, halfway, the bottom lip should be halfway between the chin and the nose. So say the bottom lip will be there. So we'll go with it. Right, so just here, halfway between the nose and the chin. Say like, if we went diagonal this way, we'll place the bottom lip. So we're going to curve. So it's like we're giving her a smiling closed mouth at first. So this is her bottom lip, okay? Her mouth is slightly open. If you wanted to leave it like that, you could. It looks kind of good. But she doesn't really smile like that in the anime. So we got to do the top lip as well. So this sort of comes up a bit further. Just there. And then we bring it back in this way. And then we go diagonal up this way. It's kind of like a V, a shallow V. And then this travels back towards the edge just here. Like so. And I think she has some like lipstick down here, but you can add that or not. It's up to you. So then she has a line for her chin. So just here. So we have a curved line just there. And then like a little V just coming down there. It's like there's a shadow in there. So her hair, we'll go from here. So we'll bring this up and around her face. So this is going to come up this way. Like so. And then we have like a double fringe. So this is going to stick out here and spike back this way. Spike back towards her eye. Spiking up this way. This one goes diagonal that way. And then goes right by her eyebrow here. And then her hairline. So it comes across here and joins back up to this line here. So this line, we'll do this line longer. So this one gets a bit longer up to here. So curves around her head for her hair. Okay. And then we have some spikes for her hairline just in here where her fringe is. Comes in, grows into her head. One spike goes this way. Another one here. Another one back around. And down to there. Right, so this, we have a fringe coming down here. There's a little one underneath it and one coming out this side. So let's go. That's the hard part, really. Getting that. So, and her hand might be a bit difficult as well. Let's go up this way. Bring it around like so. down like that. And then this comes back up from the spike down here. So we're going to spike this here. Bring it up to there. And then spike it up to there. And then the other fringe, so just over here, so it spikes up this way. Comes down to here. Like so. Bumping down around her face, another bump here. And then these have 3 spikes on the bottom, like the other side. Spiking, 2, 3. Then there is a second layer. So another layer grows out from here. So it comes out this way. Curves around to a spike. We have another spike. And another spike. And another. And we go back up to her face. Then we do this on this side as well. So we have a spike here, spiking down this way, back up. So 4, they're bigger on this side, just like her eye. So because they're closer to us. And then her ears behind here. So it's in line with the top of her eyelash there. Curve it around, down into there. And then there's bones and ligaments inside her ear, so we have a line there, coming down. You can leave it like that if you wanted, or you can add more detail, like one there, coming down, like so. So then the hair that is tied around the back of her head. So it comes out from down here. So we're going to go this way. It's tied up in a bun with a butterfly up here. So this comes that way. Into there. Then back around that way. Bump again. Bumping. Cross. This comes into a fringe and then comes across like so. So it's all tied up, so it just bumps around. Comes right by the top of her fringe. Into there and around to there. So she has all these dark shadows, these portions that are dark black, and her hair is kind of grey. The highlights are kind of grey purple, so I'm going to draw those in now. And yeah, so let's see. Dark section here. So these would all be colored in black if you were coloring in. And then the purple grey parts would be around it. Goes down to there. Spiking into here. So I'm going to put a dot for the black section. So this is black just there. And then we have another just shadow. These are all kind of shadows. There's a dot in there. Another curved one here. Dot in there. This comes up to a spike. Back down. Spiking. Curve it down this way to a spike. Back up to a spike. And this is dark black shadow in there. Maybe another one here. Long one here. And then a couple going around the back of her head. just up here. This is dark black, this is dark black, and dark black. And then she's a couple down here, so V spike down there. And one here. Okay, so the butterfly that's on the back of her head, we can only see most of this wing, so it's going to curve up and around here first. It's going to come down into there, so that's like the big top wing. And then the small wing comes down here. It's got a little bit of like a leg sticking off here, or just the bottom of it. Part of the wing just there. And then we can see maybe a little bit of the other wing just here. Then we're going to double this line and add the details. So coming around like so, back into there. This one comes around like so. And then there's like circles and stuff inside, so patterns and shapes. You can do these anyway. Don't have to be precious about this at all. And then there's veins coming up the inside of the wing. Just kind of like forking lightning lines going across, like so. Like that. And then the back of her neck. So we have a line coming down here. I'm going to speed up now, guys. So use your pause button. I don't want the video to be too long. We're at maybe 27 minutes. Okay, so let's go. So we have her neck. And then her collar joins this, goes underneath her hair. So we have a line here. Jump over her hair, bring it down. It goes right by her chin, down here. Like so. And then this curves backwards. So going, that's the top of her collar. And then this comes down like so. And she has her kimono. So her big butterfly kimono. The front of it curves all the way. Curve down to there. And then her shoulder comes off. So we have a bump for her shoulder. Comes off the page that way. The inside of that kimono just here. Like that. Maybe a fold line for her arm. Just there. I'll come back and add those details that are on her clothes in a minute. So she has this shoulder and then her collar. So there's a white part, a black part, and then she has her hand and her sword. So it's the easiest. We'll do her hand first, get it done. So hands can sometimes be as hard as faces, so take your time. Pencil. Hit pause. Right, so, and she's holding it sort of in a sort of a dainty kind of way. She's like holding it real lightly, and these two fingers are kind of pointing up. So like the sword itself, so we'll do that first. So underneath her eye, just here is where the end of the sword on her fingers are. So if you do a diagonal line here and a diagonal line there, and then this sword comes all the way down into here, okay? We'll do that. We might as well. So if you want to use a ruler, you can. Any straight edge would work. And then this comes down to there. Then this comes down that side. And then we'll join them. we'll join them together just with a curved line down here, okay? So we have our fingers just on top, right? So this line keeps going, right? So we'll bring this up for the top of our finger, just here. And this is going to come across for her knuckle, just there. And then we're going to bring it down to the tip of her finger that's on her sword down here, okay? Like so. This is going to curve around the bottom of her finger. Just real small hands. There's a little fingernail in here. And then this travels back up this way. And then comes back in across like so. Her other fingernail just beside it. And then the back of her finger. Curving up like so, and then curves underneath like that. So then there's two knuckles on this side. So we're going to go bump around for one knuckle, right in line with this finger here, and then the second one bumps there as well. So then this is going to come up to the index. So we're going to bring this up to here, a little bump for the index finger knuckle. And then we're going to curve it up that way. And then it bumps a bit for another knuckle, and then curve it up for that finger there. Curve it around the top of the finger. Bring it back underneath. And then down into the other finger there like that. And then some of that fingernail just there. So we have her, that's her middle finger actually, I think I said index. But we have her little finger, ring finger, middle finger, and then her index finger sticking up here just behind the middle finger. And this comes up here to a knuckle and then curves up towards the top. That finger brings it back around into there and then down back in towards the sword. And then her hand is going to come down here and go into her sleeve, so towards her wrist, and then this is like the part of her sleeve just there. The other side of her wrist is going to come out from there then, just there. And then it's going to go curve up behind the sword. And we might add some just hand lines just there. And this keeps going, so behind the sword and up to her thumb. So it's going to come up to here. Come out to the thumb on the other side. Curves up to like there. Bring it around. Like so. Now, so the rest of her sleeve down here. So we have her shirt sleeve just here. The cuff of it, just the edge of it. Diagonal this way. Bring it down around. Like so. Then the darker portion of her uniform comes up from that, comes down, goes underneath her sleeve of her kimono, her big butterfly kimono, massive sleeve, goes all the way down here. And then her arm is going to come back out from the other side. The arm is going to come back out from there, bumping and waving because it's there's folds for clothes and stuff on it. So it's like a wavy line. And then the other side of her sleeve just comes this way. Then we'll finish all the stuff in here, and then we'll finish her shoulder. So, the kimono, so comes up along her shoulder, goes behind her neck, comes out the other side. So we have to draw a line for that. So it's here, just there. So it's going around her neck, coming out the other side. And maybe just a little bit underneath her finger there. And then the collar of a uniform has a white section inside of it. So let's see. So this is going to curve around this way first anyway. Come up there. And then we have to section off the white section. So here, straight up there. And then this is going to follow along the top of her collar all the way over to there. And then there's like double lines inside. So we're going to put a line here, here, and then across this way. Like so. Then we have a button. Just here. With some details inside. So kind of just some cloudy sort of lines like that. And then like so. And there might be some fold lines for clothes. Just come in here. Maybe another one here. Maybe that way. And then she has a pocket. Just diagonal that way. It's got a white top to it. Like this part of her uniform. And then, so her body, so yeah, so she has, we're going down as far as her belt. So we can see another button here with a sort of a cloudy detail line inside. And then we can see the side of her uniform, her body just there, diagonal at her wrist, comes back out for a fold, just there. And then there's another button here. So we're curving around, the button line comes down around her body there. Like so. And then we have a line for where her uniform closes. So it comes down from her hand, like so, towards that button. Then we get to here, we're going to go around a fold. So it curves around a fold like that. And then her belt is just along here, along the bottom. But her sword is going into it, so we have to draw the bottom of the sword first. So we have just an extra layer just at the bottom here. Just for the bottom of her sword. And then it's like a flower on the end. So we have a line out and around like this. One petal. Second petal. Third one goes under her kimono, so we can't see all of it. And the fourth one, we can just see the back of it, kind of just in there. So we're going to try and make these guys look a bit 3D now. So we're going to add an extra edge here. An extra edge here. One here. And then there's like a blue inlay, so kind of a blue detail inside each of these. So we're going to just do that shape again. Like so. Just following that shape. And there's like little scratches or like gemstone looking shapes just inside. Like so, and then her belt will come across underneath. So there's like a buckle and different bumps and stuff. So we're going to curve this one this way. Curve it down like so. Curve this up. down. And then a line here. Line going across, box here, belts. And there, there, there. And then maybe her blade is coming this way, so there might be like a scratch mark or two just there. And then there's all these diamonds coming down her sword. So, starting like so. Diamond. All the way down. Just these sort of long diamonds coming all the way down her sword. And they have just sort of, it's like the hilt of the sword is wrapped usually. So I'm just going to add an extra line here, sorry. And so that means there's like little just details sort of coming down the sides. Like so, and maybe a little bit on the other side. We can only see smaller. Just letter V's kind of, just to kind of show that rope that's wrapped around the sword. You could add as much of that detail as you wanted, of course, but we'll just leave it at that because the video will be like 4 hours long if I keep doing too much of that. And right, so just her kimono, her other arm. And then, and of course, in Demon Slayer style, like, you could thicken up, just before we move on, some of these lines, right? So, like, the way the anime is drawn, you know, some of these lines are thicker in parts. Like, say the line for her kimono here. You could, like, make that much thicker. Like, double the thickness of other lines. You know, it's just the way the artist draws it, you know, like real thick outline, maybe around the side of her face here. You're just adding, of course this would be a good thing to do when you're inking. Oh, and while I'm here I forgot the other side of her neck, just in here. And there's a shadow right in here, dark black shadow. So it's just the way the Kimetsu no Yaiba artist team, and probably the manga artist as well, decided to just, it's probably to do with his inking pen that he uses. It gives a pretty thick and like a variety of line just coming around the character like that. But that is up to you, basically. Depends on what sort of style you want to go for. Right, so her other arm. Right, so her shoulder comes out from here to her finger. And it goes underneath her hair, just here. Out and around, like so. And it's a good thick line as well. So it's going to come down to about here. And then we've bumps and folds. So her elbow is bent, so that means there's loads of folds on her clothes, just here. You can thicken up these lines as well, if you're trying to get that style. And then her sleeve is going to come out to her elbow this way. So so say like if you thickened up this and then brought this one down that way. And then another fold line this way. Comes down, goes off my page here. And then there's at the edge of the sleeve, there's a sort of butterfly pattern on the end. So like white sections, big white butterfly patterns like these, but just bigger. Her kimono is kind of like a butterfly's wings, I guess, and the sleeves are the end of the sleeve parts just there. And then there's a line coming down there. And then she has veins. So like the butterfly's wings here, she has veins all over her sleeve. So first, right, there's a line for her shoulder line just there. So that line first, and that's on this side, that's over here. It just marks where the kimono goes over her shoulder. Just here. And then there's all those veins. Right, so let's see. So one here first. And then we curve around here and then go off that way. And go down here. Right, I'll draw them out first and then I'll go back and, because they're thick in some places, thick lines and thin lines all mixed together. So one there. Line that way. You could just do thin lines if it was easier for you, because I know this is a challenging drawing, and fair play to anyone who managed to follow this far. You are truly committed to learning how to draw. This comes down here, then that way. This one that way. This one comes up to a V. And then I'm just going to add some thickness and thinness. So just making a difference in the line weight. So adding a thicker portion here, thicker portion here, like so. Maybe making this one a bit thicker. This here a bit thicker. Up here. And we got to do some on this side now. So she has a couple coming in here, one coming down there, in here, down there, and then on her kimono up here, there, there, there. And then you can just add some weight, line weight. Don't have to add too much. And yeah. And if you want, you can go around and thicken up some more lines that you think might need just a bit more. But I think that's enough for me. And I hope it was helpful. Just a tricky one. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next video.